My name is Virginia Nettles. I'm 38. My brother called me a clerk. My mother giggled. My father said nothing. That was Thanksgiving 2024. By February 2025, Cody's music venue was boarded up. He was working retail for $16 an hour. My parents had sold their truck to pay off gambling debts, and I was standing backstage at my new venue, watching my 13-year-old son open for a Texas country legend. How did we get here? 15 years of building, one night of betrayal, 3 days of silence, and a single decision. I will take back everything that's mine. I didn't fight them in court. I didn't scream or beg. I just walked out. Took my rarest vinyl records, the ones I'd bought with my own money, the ones with receipts going back to 2008. Canceled the liquor permit that was in my name, made some calls. Cody thought he could run a music venue without music, without alcohol, without me. He was wrong. If you want to know how I dismantled his dream while building mine, stay here. Subscribe for stories about people who win by walking away. I opened the store in March 2010. I was 23 years old. $8,000. That's what I had. 2 years of working double shifts at coffee shops, selling records online from my apartment, saving every dollar I could hide from rent and food. The space was 900 square feet on East 6th Street, number 1847. The rent was $1,600 a month. I had enough for first month, last month, and security deposit. After that, I had $340 left for inventory. I spent it on vinyl, estate sales, garage sales, Craigslist postings from people who didn't know what they had. I bought 340 records that first month. My father came to the opening. He looked around at the empty walls, the second-hand shelves I'd built from scrap wood, the records I'd organized by hand. "Vinyl is dead, sweetheart," he said. "You're wasting your money." He left before I could respond. That first month I made $3,100 in sales, just enough to cover rent and utilities, barely enough to prove I could survive. I decided then, I wouldn't just sell records. I would build something that mattered. I taught myself to recognize pressings. First press versus reissue. Turquoise labels versus orange. Matrix numbers stamped in the dead wax. Vinyl weight. Jacket condition. I learned to spot a fake from across a room. In 2011, I drove to a record fair in Houston, 4 hours each way in a borrowed truck. I came back with 80 albums and $4,200 less in my bank account. One of them was a 1959 Miles Davis Kind of Blue, with the original 6i label. I paid $180 for it. It's worth $3,100 now. I kept receipts for everything. Every record I bought with my own money went into a folder marked VN Personal, not store assets. Separate from inventory. Separate from the business. By 2013, I had 600 records in that collection. My collection. Bought with money I'd saved before the store even existed, and money I'd earned from side jobs that had nothing to do with the business my father's name was on. The Beatles' White Album numbered a 00000005. I found it at an estate sale in Dripping Springs. The widow didn't know what she had. I paid $600. It's worth $8,200 now. Pink Floyd's The Piper at the Gates of Dawn, UK First Press, $1,850. Led Zeppelin 1, 1969, turquoise label, $2,400. Every receipt filed, every purchase documented, every record stored separately in my apartment, not in the store basement. My mother asked me once in 2014, "When are you going to get a real job and settle down?" I didn't answer. A collector from Stockholm emailed me that same year. He'd heard about my inventory through a forum. He wrote, "Your collection is world-class." In 2015, I moved all 600 records from the store to my apartment permanently. I told myself it was for security. Looking back, I think I already knew I'd need to protect what was mine. In June 2016, the space next door opened up. Another 1,500 square feet. I signed a new lease. Total space, 2,400 square feet. Rent jumped to $4,800 a month. I applied for a liquor license through the Texas Alcoholic Beverage Commission. TABC. The application went in under my name, Virginia Nettles. I was the permit holder. The background check took 6 weeks. Approved September 2016. Permit number MB584729. I applied for the venue license in October. Approved the same month. To pay for the expansion, I took out a line of credit. $35,000 in my name, personally guaranteed. I used it to buy a sound system, build a small stage, install acoustic panels. The first show was November 12, 2016. Hayes Carl, Texas country legend. 94 people packed into a room designed for 80. Sold out. By December, I was profitable. $19,000 in revenue that month. My son Dylan was 5 years old then. He'd sit backstage during sound checks, drawing pictures on scrap paper while musicians tuned their guitars. He loved the smell of the place, old wood and beer and possibility. I thought, this is where he'll grow up, where he'll learn that art matters. The next 7 years were the best of my life. 4 shows a week, Tuesday through Friday. Folk, blues, indie, country. Artists nobody had heard of yet, and legends playing secret shows for crowds who understood what they were seeing. I booked Lucinda Williams in 2018, Joe Ely in 2019, Shaky Graves did a secret show in 2021. 120 people in a room with no phones allowed. Just music. Revenue grew. By 2022, my best month brought in $47,000. 65% of that was alcohol. $30,550. 25% was vinyl sales. $11,750. 10% was ticket sales. $4,700. The numbers were precise because I tracked everything. Every dollar. Every transaction. Every contract. Dylan grew up in that venue. By the time he was 8, he'd started learning guitar. By 11, he was writing songs. Simple ones, honest ones. He had a corner behind the bar. A small wooden table I'd found at a thrift store. A warm lamp, a chair that fit him. He'd do his homework there while I worked. He'd practice guitar while I counted registers. He wrote his first real song when he was 11. East 6th Street Lullaby. About growing up surrounded by music. About watching strangers become friends. About the smell of his mother's coffee at 5 a.m. when I'd open up to receive deliveries. In April 2024, the Austin Music Foundation named me Venue Owner of the Year. My mother didn't come to the ceremony. In September 2024, my father called. He said we needed to talk about the future of the business. I met him at his house. He sat at the kitchen table. His hands shook slightly. He was 72. "I owe money," he said. "How much?" $23,000. Online poker, DraftKings, FanDuel, sites that made it easy to lose money in the middle of the night when you couldn't sleep. "We should sell the venue," he said. "Split the money. It'll cover the debt and give you something to start over." No. "Virginia, that's my life's work. I'm not selling it to pay for your gambling." His jaw tightened. "It's still in my name. I co-signed the original lease in 2010. Legally, I have rights." I felt something cold settle in my chest. "The permits are in my name," I said. "The contracts, the relationships, the reputation, all of it is me." He didn't respond. I left. 2 weeks later, I started noticing my brother at the venue, Cody, 34 years old. He'd been living in California for 6 years, working in sales. He'd failed at 3 different jobs and come back to Austin in 2023, broke and bitter. He'd ask me questions. How much do we make on a good weekend? What are the margins on liquor? Who handles the bookkeeping? I told him it was none of his business. He'd smile and say, "Just curious, sis." Thanksgiving 2024, November 28th, my parents' house, 3214 Maple Avenue. 11 people around the table. My father, my mother, me, Dylan, Cody, his wife Jessica, their 2 kids, and a couple of cousins. Turkey, mashed potatoes, green bean casserole, pecan pie. I brought a bottle of wine, $45. My contribution. Cody was louder than usual. He kept glancing at my father, smiling. Dylan sat quiet, playing a game on his phone. He was 13 now, tall and thin, with my eyes and his father's quiet intensity. At 7:30, my father stood up. "Before dessert," he said, "I have an announcement." He pulled out an envelope, yellow, 9 by 12 inches. 7:45 p.m. He opened it. Inside was a document. Legal paper. The kind that changes everything. He read, "Effective December 1st, 2024, Cody Nettles will assume full ownership and operational control of Nettles Records and Stage." The room went silent. "What?" I said. My father wouldn't look at me. "It's time, Virginia. Cody's ready. You've done enough." My mother set down her wine glass. "Sweetheart, you're almost 40. You need to think about your own future, not just that store." Cody leaned back in his chair. He was grinning. "Don't worry, sis," he said. "You can stay on. I'll need someone who knows the inventory." He paused. "You're just the clerk now." My mother giggled. My father stared at his plate, mashed potatoes going cold. I looked at the document. It was signed. November 15th, 2 weeks ago. They'd planned this, without telling me. Dylan pushed his chair back. He didn't say anything. He just walked out the back door into the yard. I stood up. "I'll leave the keys on the counter tomorrow," I said. My voice was calm, steady. I didn't raise it. Cody's smile faltered. Just for a second. I walked outside. Dylan was sitting on the old swing set, the one my father built when I was a kid. He was crying. "Mom, what just happened?" "We're leaving, baby." I drove home in silence. 12 minutes. Dylan stared out the window. He didn't ask questions. We got to our apartment at 8:20. It was a 2-bedroom unit directly above the venue. 1847 East 6th Street, number 204. Dylan went to his room and locked the door. I sat on the sofa. The keys to the venue were on the coffee table. 3 of them. Front door, back door, storage room. I didn't cry. I opened my laptop and found a file. VN Personal Collection, Receipts 2008 to 2015, .pdf. 87 pages. 600 records. Total documented value, $180,000. All mine. They thought they'd taken everything. But they didn't even know what I owned. 3 days of silence. November 29th, 30th, December 1st. Dylan didn't talk. He stayed in his room. He slept with his guitar next to him on the bed. I cooked, I cleaned, I did laundry. I acted like everything was normal. On November 30th, at 2 p.m., I called a lawyer. Amanda Richardson. She specialized in intellectual property and small business disputes. I explained the situation. She said, "Anything you bought with personal funds, with receipts proving ownership, is yours. The TABC permit is in your name. You can cancel it any time. Vendor contracts in your name aren't transferable without your consent." What if I just walk away? Then he gets an empty building and a name on a lease. That's it. I thanked her and hung up. That evening, I sat with Dylan. "Do you want me to fight?" I asked. He looked up. His eyes were red. "I don't know what that means," he said. "It means I can make this hard for them, or I can just leave." He thought about it. "What do you want to do?" "I want to take back what's mine." He nodded. December 2nd, 11:20 a.m. Dylan's phone buzzed. A text from Cody. I watched his face change as he read it. He handed me the phone without a word. The message said, "Hey Dylan, tell your mom acoustic guitar is dead. Nobody listens to that anymore. You should learn to DJ or produce beats like a real musician. I'm putting up TVs at the venue for sports. Way better business model. She'll understand eventually. I read it twice. Dylan was shaking. Why would he say that? I looked at my son, 13 years old, learning to play the instrument I'd taught him to love, writing songs about the place I'd built. Because he doesn't understand what matters, I said. Dylan wiped his eyes. I want him to disappear. I pulled him close. You don't need him to disappear, baby. You just need him to stop affecting your life. I texted Cody. First time in 4 days. I'll pick up my personal items tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Don't be there. He didn't respond. Sunrise. Step 2. Cancel TABC. Permit sunrise. Step 2. Cancel TABC. Permit. Online form. Voluntary surrender. Effective immediately. Step 3. Notify musicians. 200 contacts. Personal calls. Let them know I'm gone. Step 4. Anonymous tip to TABC about the July 2023 incident. Let them investigate. Step 5. Walk away clean. No social media. No public statements. Let the system work. I set an alarm for 4:30 a.m. I slept deeply for the first time since Thanksgiving. December 3rd. I rented a U-Haul truck at 5:45 a.m. Cost $49.95 plus insurance. The temperature was 38 degrees. Fog hung low over East 6th Street. I pulled up to the back door of the venue at 6 a.m. Dylan was with me. He carried 8 cardboard boxes from the truck. Each one measured 24 by 18 by 12 inches. I unlocked the back door. The key turned smoothly. Last time. We went down to the basement. The 600 records were stored on 4 shelves, organized alphabetically, separate from the store inventory. I pulled each record, checked the receipt, packed it carefully. Box 1. Beatles and British Invasion. The Beatles. White Album. Number A000005. 1968. Apple Records. UK pressing. Receipt. $600. Purchase 2013. Pink Floyd. The Piper at the Gates of Dawn. 1967. UK first press. Receipt. $1,850. Purchase 2014. The Who My Generation. 1965. Brunswick, UK. Receipt. $890. Purchase 2012. 15 records per box in this category. Box 2, Jazz Classics. Miles Davis. Kind of Blue. 1959. 6i label. Receipt. $3,100. Purchase 2011. John Coltrane. A Love Supreme. 1965. First pressing. Receipt. $1,200. Purchase 2010. Thelonious Monk. Brilliant Corners. 1957. Receipt. $980. Purchase 2013. Boxes 3 through 8. 75 records each. Every receipt printed. Every record documented. By 7:15 a.m., all 8 boxes were loaded in the truck. Dylan asked, "Is this stealing?" "No, baby. This is taking back what was always mine." Headlights appeared on the street outside. I tensed. The car passed, not Cody. I left a folder on the counter. Inside, 87 pages of receipts. A note clipped to the front. The 600 vinyl records I removed are my personal property. Purchased 2008 to 2015 with personal funds. See attached documentation. Store inventory remains in basement. TABC permit has been surrendered as of 10:14 a.m. today. Good luck. VN. Dylan and I walked out. I locked the back door. Last time we drove home. At 10 a.m., I opened my laptop. TABC website. Permit holder portal. Login. virginia.nettles@nettlesrecords.com. I navigated to My Permits. Permit MB-584729. I clicked Request Cancellation. The form asked for a reason. I typed, Permit holder no longer associated with business operations. Effective date, immediate. I uploaded a letter of resignation dated December 3rd, 2024. I clicked Submit at 10:14 a.m. The confirmation email arrived 2 minutes later. Your permit, MB584729, has been surrendered. Effective immediately. This location may not sell or serve alcoholic beverages until a new permit is issued. Standard processing time for a new permit? 6 to 8 weeks. I closed the laptop. I felt light for the first time in days. At 2 p.m., I started making phone calls. I had 200 musicians in my contacts, artists I'd worked with over 15 years, people who trusted me. Call number 1, Hayes Carl. Hayes, it's Virginia Nettles. Hey Virginia, what's up? I'm no longer with Nettles Records and Stage. My family transferred ownership. I wanted to let you know personally. Silence. Wait, what? You built that place. I know, but it's out of my hands now. I can't in good conscience recommend performing there anymore. Damn, I had a show booked in February. I understand if you want to cancel. I'll be opening a new venue soon. I'll reach out when I'm ready. You got it. I'm with you, not them. I moved to the next call. By 8 p.m., I'd made all 200 calls. 6 hours on the phone. 18 shows had been booked between December and March. 14 were canceled within the hour. 4 artists said they'd wait and see. Every single musician said the same thing. I trust you, not the building. Not. My voice cracked on call 156. I was exhausted, but I kept going. Call 200 was to a local music blogger. I'll write about this, he said. People need to know what happened. I hung up. Dylan brought me a glass of water. You okay, Mom? Yeah, baby, I'm okay. I collapsed on the sofa. At 9 p.m., I opened the TABC website again. There was a section called Report a Violation. Anonymous submissions accepted. I filled out the form. Location, Nettles Records and Stage, 1847 East 6th Street, Austin, Texas. Date of incident, July 14th, 2023. Violation, individual, Cody Nettles, served alcoholic beverage to person under 21 years of age. Details, security camera footage available upon request. Individual was covering for permit holder who was out of town. Patron's ID was checked after service. Date of birth showed 20 years old. I submitted the form anonymously. Confirmation. Report received. Case number 2024-ATX-8831. Investigation will be conducted. I closed the laptop. I knew this was the nuclear option. But it wasn't a lie. The incident happened. I'd warned Cody at the time. He'd laughed it off. Now it was on record. At 10 p.m., Dylan and I drove back to the venue one last time. I used my key to unlock the front door. I turned on the lights. The basement shelves were empty where the 600 records had been. The bar counter gleamed under the pendant lights. The stage sat quiet in the back. Dylan's corner was still there. The wooden table, the lamp, the chair. I walked to the bar and set down the 3 keys. Front door, back door, storage. Next to them, I placed the folder of receipts and the handwritten note. Dylan stood next to me. Are we really never coming back? Not to this building, but we'll build something better. I turned off the lights. I locked the front door for the last time. We drove home. December 4th, Cody's first real day as owner. At 10 a.m., his phone rang. The beer distributor, Lone Star Beverages. Hey, we've got your weekly order ready, $2,400. Great, deliver this afternoon. We need to verify your TABC permit first. Can you send the number? It's the same one, MB584729. Pause. That permit shows as surrendered in the system as of December 3rd. What? That's impossible. Sorry, we can't deliver without a valid permit. You'll need to contact TABC. December 5th. Cody called the TABC hotline at 9 a.m. Wait time, 47 minutes. Finally, an agent picked up. Yes, permit MB584729 was voluntarily surrendered by Virginia Nettles on December 3rd. She doesn't own the business anymore. I do. The permit was in her name, sir. It's not transferable. You'll need to apply for a new one. How long does that take? 6 to 8 weeks for standard processing. There's a $1,000 application fee. I have shows this weekend. You cannot serve alcohol without a valid permit. Doing so is a Class A misdemeanor. Cody hung up. He searched emergency TABC permit on Google. No such thing. He called me 8 times that day. Every call went to voicemail. He texted, "You can't do this. This is my business now." I didn't read it. December 8th, Friday night, a local indie band called The Lowdown played. 40 people showed up. Without alcohol sales, revenue for the night, $320 in ticket sales. A normal Friday brought in $3,800. Cody tried to sell sodas and energy drinks at inflated prices. Customers complained. Saturday, December 9th, 28 people, $280 in revenue. Sunday, December 10th. The band canceled. Not worth it without Virginia. Week 1. Total revenue, $3,200. Normal weekly revenue, $14,500. Down 78%. December 11th. Cody started receiving emails. Hayes Carl's booking agent. Canceling the February 14th show. No hard feelings. Lucinda Williams's team. Withdrawing from the March residency. 4 shows canceled. 2 local bands. Sorry, we're with Virginia. December 12th. Cody submitted a new TABC permit application. Fee: $1,000 charged to his credit card. He uploaded his documents: ID business transfer papers, lease agreement, confirmation email, application received, processing time 6 to 8 weeks. December 13th. Cody made a decision. He posted on Craigslist, seeking bands for live music venue, $400 per night. He got 3 responses. Classic Rock Explosion, Journey and Foreigner covers. 90s Unplugged, acoustic tribute band. DJ Snake Eyes, EDM, and hip-hop. He booked Classic Rock Explosion for Friday, December 15th. He posted on Facebook, "New era at Nettles Records and Stage, classic rock vibes this Friday." The comments section filled up immediately. Where's Virginia? Is this a joke? Hard pass. December 15th, Friday night. Classic Rock Explosion took the stage. 12 people showed up. 4 of them were the band members' friends. Revenue, $240 in ticket sales and soda. Band cost, $400. Net loss, $160. December 16th. An email from the landlord, Mr. Patterson. Rent due December 20th, $4,800. Cody's business bank account, $6,100. He was stressed. December 17th. Cody called Jamie, one of the staff members who'd been with me since 2018. "Can you work for $12 an hour instead of 18? "No, I quit." Jamie had already texted me. I told her now is the time. Luis quit the same day. Kendra stayed. She needed the money. Week 2 revenue, $1,850. December 18th. Cody used his personal credit card to pay rent, $4,800. Remaining credit on the card, $7,200. December 19th and 20th. Weekend shows. Friday. 18 people. $360 in revenue. Band cost, $400. Loss, $40. Saturday. 9 people. $180 in revenue. Band cost, $400. Loss, $220. December 22nd. An email from TABC. Subject: Application MB-2024-8831-NEW-. Additional information required. Body: Our investigation has identified a prior incident at this location, July 14, 2023, involving service of alcohol to a minor. As the individual involved, Cody Nettles, is the current applicant, we require a formal hearing before proceeding. Hearing date: January 28, 2025. Cody stared at the email. He Googled TABC hearing lawyer. Retainer fees ranged from $3,500 to $5,000. He called my father. Did you know about the 2023 thing? What thing? Cody explained. Can you fix it? I don't know, Dad. Maybe, but it'll cost money. December 24th, Christmas Eve, 9:30 p.m. Cody called me for the 23rd time. Dylan had been asking me to pick up. Mom, just tell him no one last time, I answered. Virginia, please, I'll give you 20%. Just come back and help me get the permit. I can't help you violate state law, Cody. You served alcohol to a minor. That's on record. TABC doesn't forget. You reported me? I didn't have to. They review all applications. They found it on their own. What about the musicians? They're independent contractors. They choose where to play. I can't control that. This is my livelihood. It was mine for 15 years. You called me a clerk. Goodbye, Cody. I hung up. Week 3. Revenue, $2,100. 3-week total, $7,150. They should have made $43,500. December 26th, the day after Christmas. 7 a.m. Someone knocked on my door. I was making coffee. Ethiopian Yirgashefe in a French press. Old habit. I opened the door with the chain lock still on. Cody stood in the hallway. His eyes were red. He hadn't slept. Can I come in, please? I paused. 5 minutes. I let him in. He sat on the sofa. I stood. I didn't sit. I messed up, he said. I know, but this is killing me. The venue's dying. You're not here to apologize. You're here because you're losing money. I'm sorry for what I said at Thanksgiving. You called me a clerk. Your mother giggled. Your father said nothing. I was an idiot. I didn't mean it. Yes, you did. You meant every word. What do you want? Money? Equity? Just tell me. I want nothing from you. Then why are you destroying this? I'm not destroying anything. I'm taking what's mine. The permits were in my name. The relationships were mine. The reputation was mine. You took a building and a name. That's all you ever had. Dylan walked out of his bedroom. He saw Cody. He turned around and went back inside. Cody noticed. Your 5 minutes are up, I said. Leave. He stood. He looked like he wanted to say something else. He didn't. He left. January 2025. The first week of the new year should have been the biggest revenue week of the season. New Year's weekend, 4 shows booked. Normally $18,000 in total. Cody booked 2 DJs and 1 cover band. Total attendance over 4 nights, 67 people. Total revenue, $1,340. January 6th. Cody posted the venue for sale. Established music venue, East Austin, $120,000. He got 5 inquiries. Buyer 1. Do you have a liquor license? Working on it. Pass. Buyer 2. What's the artist roster? Building it. Not interested. Buyer 3, an investor. I'll give you $40,000. Cody didn't respond. No serious offers came in. January 13th, the utilities bill arrived. $890 for electricity and water. Cody's credit card had $3,350 in available credit left. January 15th. An email from Mr. Patterson, the landlord. Rent for January due January 20th. Also, I heard about the ownership change. I need proof you're authorized on the lease. Cody forwarded the business transfer documents. Patterson responded, "Understood. But for your information, the original lease has a clause. Landlord may terminate with 60 days' notice if business operations substantially change. No alcohol service and no original programming constitute substantial change. Consider this informal notice." January 20th. Rent due, $4,800. Cody's bank account, $1,200. He charged the remaining $3,600 to his credit card. Available credit, 0. Maxed out. January 28th. The TABC hearing, held over Zoom. Cody hired a lawyer. Cost, $4,200, borrowed from his mother's credit card. The hearing officer reviewed security camera footage from July 2023. Cody admitted, "Yes, that was me. It was a mistake. I checked the ID afterward." The TABC decision came via email on January 30th. Application denied. Applicant may reapply in 12 months. Prior violation must be resolved through compliance course, $850, and probationary period. No liquor license for at least 13 months. January 31st. Cody called me one last time. 11 p.m. "I hope you're happy." "I'm not happy, Cody. I'm free." I hung up. February 3rd, 2025. Mr. Patterson sent an official notice. 60-day notice to vacate. Effective April 3rd, 2025. February 10th. Cody closed the venue. He posted on Facebook. "Due to unforeseen circumstances, Nettles Records and Stage is temporarily closed." The comments came fast. "What happened to Virginia? This place died when she left. R.I.P. to a real one." February 12th. My father sold his truck. A 2015 Ford F-150. CarMax offered $8,500. He used it to pay part of his gambling debt. $23,000 owed, minus $8,500. He still owed $14,500. February 15th. My mother sold her jewelry. Her wedding ring from her grandmother. Appraised at $6,200. The pawnshop gave her $3,800. She used it to pay Cody's TABC lawyer. February 20th. My parents moved out of their house. They couldn't afford the mortgage anymore. They moved to a trailer park in Pflugerville, 15 miles north of Austin. Rent, $950 a month. Down from the $2,100 house payment. February 25th. My father sent me an email. I saw the notification at 3 a.m. I couldn't sleep. Subject: "I'm sorry." Body: "Virginia, I know you won't read this, but I need to say it. I was wrong. I let my gambling control me. I let your mother's favoritism blind me. I let Cody's promises fool me. You built something beautiful and I destroyed it because I was weak. I don't expect forgiveness. I just wanted you to know. I see you now. I see what you did. I see what I lost. I'm sorry. Dad." I read it twice. I thought about responding. Then I blocked his email address. I deleted the message. I went back to bed. March 2025. Cody applied for a job at Guitar Center, retail sales, $16 an hour. The manager asked, "You owned a venue, right?" "Yeah." "Why'd you close?" "It's complicated." "We'll start you part-time, 25 hours a week." March 15th. His first day. He spent 8 hours selling guitar strings and accessories. A customer came in, mid-40s, wearing a Shaky Graves t-shirt. "Hey, aren't you the guy who took over Nettles Records?" Yeah." "What happened to Virginia? That place was legendary." "She left." "Damn shame. Anyway, I need some pics." Cody rang him up. While Cody was losing everything, I was building. January 5th, 2025. I signed a lease for a new space in East Austin, 2121 East 7th Street, 2,400 square feet, former coffee roastery. Rent, $5,200 a month, higher than before, but better location. I paid 6 months upfront, $31,200. I used my savings and the remainder of my old credit line, which I'd paid off. Between December 22nd and January 4th, I did renovations. Dylan designed the logo, a guitar crossed with a vinyl record. Text underneath, Nettles Records and Stage, established 2025. I hired a contractor, built a proper stage for $8,500, installed a new bar for $6,200, added acoustic panels for $3,100. We painted the walls deep blue, Dylan's favorite color. I hung vintage posters from my personal collection, concerts I'd seen, artists I'd loved. January 20th. I submitted a new TABC permit application. In my name, Virginia Nettles, clean record, no violations, no issues. It was approved in 4 weeks, expedited processing. February 1st, 2025. Grand opening night. The band was the Tender Hearts, local indie group. They'd played their first ever show at my old venue in 2019. Tickets, $15 pre-sale, $20 at the door. Pre-sale sold out in 36 hours, 120 tickets. 20 people showed up at the door as walk-ins, standing room only. Total attendance, 140 people. Capacity was 150. Revenue for the night. Tickets, $2,100. Alcohol, $4,800. Vinyl sales, $1,300. I'd put 100 records from my personal collection up for sale. Total, $8,200. The room smelled like fresh paint and beer and excitement. String lights hung from the ceiling, warm Edison bulbs. The crowd was mostly 30s and 40s, music lovers, some familiar faces from the old venue. Dylan stood at the sound booth. I was teaching him to run the board. The lead singer of the Tender Hearts stopped between songs. "This song is for Virginia," he said. "She gave us our start. Welcome home." The crowd cheered. I stood backstage. I smiled, tears in my eyes. Jamie came up beside me. She'd started working for me again. "Boss," she said, "we're booked solid through April." April 10th, 2025. I called Hayes Carl. "I have a favor," I said. "My son writes songs. He's 13. Would you let him open for you? Can he play?" "He's been practicing since he was 8. I think he's ready." "Send me a recording." Dylan recorded one song on his phone, East 6th Street Lullaby. Hayes called me back 2 hours later. "Book him. Kid's got something." April 18th, 2025. Hayes Carl Show. Sold out. 180 tickets. 7 p.m. Dylan walked onto the stage. He wore jeans and a white t-shirt. He carried his grandfather's guitar, my father's guitar, from before everything fell apart. He stood at the microphone. "Hi, I'm Dylan Nettles. This is my first time playing in front of people. My mom built this place. These songs are for her." He played 3 songs. East 6th Street Lullaby. About growing up in the old venue. Quiet Storms. About watching adults fight. Start Again. About moving forward. His voice was quiet, clear, sincere. The crowd went silent, 180 people holding their breath. When he finished the 3rd song, there was a pause. 5 seconds of absolute silence. Then everyone stood up. Standing ovation. It lasted 90 seconds. Dylan bowed, tears streaming down his face. He walked off stage. I met him in the back. "I'm so proud of you," I said. "Did I do okay?" "You were perfect." Hayes Carl clapped him on the shoulder. "Kid, you've got a future. Call me when you're ready to record." April 20th, 2025. The Austin Chronicle ran a feature. Music section. Page 12. Headline: Dylan Nettles, 13, opens for Hayes Carl at mother's new venue. The article included a photo. Dylan on stage, spotlight, guitar in his hands. The text read, "On Friday night, 13-year-old Dylan Nettles took the stage at Nettles Records and Stage, the new East Austin venue founded by his mother, Virginia Nettles. Virginia, who spent 15 years building the original Nettles Records and stage before a family dispute led to her departure, has returned with a vengeance. Her new space, intimate, impeccably curated, and deeply personal, is already the talk of Austin's music scene. Dylan's 3-song set was a revelation. His voice, fragile yet confident, carried the weight of someone twice his age. East 6th Street Lullaby, a song about growing up in his mother's original venue, brought several audience members to tears. After the set, Hayes Carl told us, "That kid's the real deal. And Virginia? She's a legend. This town is lucky to have her back." Nettles Records and Stage is booked through June. Get your tickets early. The online version got 12,000 shares in 2 days. On Reddit, someone posted in r/Austin, "Virginia Nettles is a fucking hero." Dylan's Instagram gained 3,400 followers overnight. April 20th, 2 p.m. Cody was on his lunch break at Guitar Center. He picked up a copy of the Austin Chronicle from the break room table. He saw the headline. He read the article. His hands shook. A coworker walked by. "Cool article. You know these people?" Cody set the paper down. "No, just a customer from a long time ago." He went back to work. April 25th, 2025, 10:30 p.m. The venue had just closed after the last weekend show. I was sitting alone at the bar, a glass of red wine in front of me. Oregon Pinot Noir, $12 a glass. I looked around. Empty chairs stacked on tables, stage lights off, the smell of beer and wood, and the faint echo of music. Dylan was at home, asleep. He'd performed twice that week. He was exhausted, happy, growing. My phone buzzed. A missed call from a number I didn't recognize. I listened to the voicemail. It was my father. New number. He'd gotten around the block. "Virginia," he said. "I know you won't call back. I wanted to hear your voice. I wanted to tell you I saw the article about Dylan. I'm proud of him. I'm proud of you. I know I don't deserve to say that, but it's true. I'm sorry." I deleted the voicemail. I finished my wine. I thought about everything that had happened, everything I'd lost, everything I'd built back. They wanted me to forgive them, but I didn't need to forgive them. I just needed to stop letting them affect my life. Dylan had a future. I had a venue. I had a community that trusted me. I didn't need their apology. I could breathe. I turned off the lights, locked the door, drove home. I checked on Dylan. He was asleep, his guitar leaning against the wall next to his bed. I smiled. I went to bed. If this story resonated with you, if you've ever been underestimated, dismissed, or betrayed by the people who should have protected you, leave a comment below. I read every single one. And if you want more stories about people who rebuilt their lives after losing everything, people who chose dignity over revenge, boundaries over bitterness, hit subscribe. Because the best revenge isn't anger, it's becoming someone they can't ignore.
He's an Australian, and I'm pretty sure that he actually has become partner now. And it's all because of Diablo.
Turn right.
Anyway, I'll have to introduce you to him. He's a great guy. He's a friend of mine. His name's Making Dough. Whoa, no! Get away from me. Mason! You trying to play Ark Raiders? Oh, am I trying to? What, but just now, with the pushing the traffic out of the way? Yeah, it's not about that. It's just that, I drive like the wind. These roads were made for me. Get off of my roads.
Keep right. And exit right. Exit right.
So I've signed up for the expedition. For those of you who watched me go and put myself through all that pain this week, honestly, like, I'm never doing anything like that again. Like, I was sitting in this freaking chair so long. I got a back injury. Like what? Like, you know, like mental. That light is so bright. And that's brighter. Where's the color options? There we go. I did it. I have signed up for the expedition. I made it. Look at look what happened to the weather just now. It's all your fault. Look at the weather. How cool is this? So this is a new weather and graphics mod that I'm using called something or other 4K something or other.